Welcome to my very first YouTube video for this channel. The who, the what, and the why. Uh, First, the who, I'll introduce myself. My name is Art. I go by Artemis to some people. Or in the gaming community, I am known as Hungry Dragon. Uh, I am retired. Uh, And I just love to play board games, card games, tabletop role playing games, just games of all sorts, including the online games. Uh, and the what is this channel about? The main purpose of this channel is to document my whole journey of this making a board game, everything that's involved in it. A lot of people don't understand how involved it actually goes, depending on whether or not you're planning on manufacturing your game one day. And if you go that route, then do you self-publish or do you pitch your game to a publisher? Uh, And as this channel continues, I'll be going over all the games that I'm working on. I'm not working on just one game, and I will showcase each of my game designs. Uh, and of course, the why is, like I said, documenting the journey of this whole process, and to showcase my designs, get opinions from people that may not have already given them to a broader audience. And also, I will be, from time to time, some of the streams will be showing actual playtests of the games. And when you ask what are the games that I am making, I started out only making one game, as most amateur game designers do. And then I got good advice from a well respected and well known game designer, aka Jamie Stonemeyer. And one of the best pieces of advice that he gave me was to not only design one game, because that creates a problem, especially when you're a solo game designer, such as myself, is when you're designing a game, it's very commonplace to come to a crossroads where somewhere in your design, usually in the mechanics of the game, whatever you're using, that you basically come up to a roadblock or brain fart, and you're stuck and you're just not coming up with any solutions. And a lot of times what will happen is the more you try and figure it out, the further you get from the fix of the problem. You become more confused, you become more frustrated, and a very simple fix for that is actually to stop designing that game. Not stop altogether, but put it on the the backboard, and to create another game. And even better yet, create a number of games, even if they don't go very far, even if they totally fall apart from the beginning. But it's just a process of working on something completely different. And then that will help clear your mind in order to continue with the game that you want to focus on. And when I started designing my first game, I was coming up with a lot of bumps, and taking that advice very soon before I became really even frustrated at all, I actually even got the idea right away of a second game, which actually branched off from the first one, but it was still a different type of game. And then down the road, as it turned out, just out of the blue, a third game came into my mind from somewhere totally different. On a 30-minute drive home from my local game store, the game itself kind of sort of just all popped into my head. But anyway, the first game that I started designing is called Dragon Lords of Orith. This is the very first rendition of the board cover. I'm currently the box cover, and I'm currently working on a updated version of it. It's a very big game. It's probably one of the things that most board game designers will say stay away from on your very first game design. I don't usually follow the flow of what some of the advice and what others tell me. Kind of go my own route. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Even myself, I would not really recommend it for most people because of the dedication, the work, especially doing it solo takes. But I really enjoyed the big box games, the heavy games. And I'm a lover of role-playing games. And I've loved in computer games all the world building, the sims that are out there, especially fantasy sims. So I decided with the first game that I actually wanted to combine them together. So I could put my two bigger loves in gaming together in one board game. Like a group of people would sit down and play a role-playing game on a table. You know, you would be able to sit down and play the game without the need of a GM in a board game. And at the same time, you're actually building a world. And that's a very general premise of the first game. 1 to 5 players. It is a cooperative game, just like role-playing games are supposed to be, although sometimes don't end up being that way. But that's the general premise of the game. We will go into details on it in another video, where I will actually showcase the game itself, each of the games, a lot more fully. And then also, since this game is the game I am currently emphasizing as far as my time goes, I'll be showing all the processes that it takes to make the pieces. When you see the tokens, the cards, what was the process of building, coming from the original prototype to where they are now and where they're going. You'll be able to see the process on those. So those that may be watching this video and future videos for the purpose of learning how to do this, possibly for your own game, maybe this will give you ideas if you haven't thought of it, if you haven't seen it anywhere else, of how do you come up, where do you go and how do you come up making this stuff yourself on a very limited budget. And then the second game, which I do not have a box cover for, I don't even technically have a name for it yet, but it is another version of this game, but it is not cooperative. The players are actually fighting over land. Limited number of turns. It is a worker placement game. The game works, but it needs a lot of work. Updated graphics. Some of the mechanics need to be changed a little bit. But it does work. People have played it. People have enjoyed it. As with all three of my games, I've been very lucky that all three games have worked out. All three games are loved. Or very well liked. And then the game that came out of the blue, and I have no idea where this came in the back of my messed up mind, is this game here. This is called Last Caveman Standing. Yeah, I went from fantasy to dinosaurs. And it was a very big change. It is a competitive game. It is what they would call a last man standing, or in this case, caveman standing. He or she. And you basically run from the dinosaurs, trying not to get eaten. And then at the same time, you got cards that you can play that allow you to throw your fellow cavemen under the bus. And instead of you getting eaten, they get eaten. But that is the three games. The Last Caveman Standing is supposed to be more on a humorous side, although it can be very, very competitive. And the unique thing about this game, I believe, in playing last man standing type games, sometimes if the game lasts for a longer bit of time and you have one person who gets eliminated early, they get bored. You're only going to sit on the sidelines twiddling your thumbs so long before, you just basically just go to your phone. And it don't take that long, really. And nowadays, some people go to the phone a lot sooner. Well, in this game, I've actually solved that problem in a unique way, is that everybody plays until the very last caveman stands. And how that works is that when you die, your character leaves the game. He's no longer there. Then instead of playing your character, you play one of the dinosaurs on the board at the time that you die. This way, now instead of running from the dinosaurs, trying to be the last caveman standing, you now, even though you have lost, now you get to have that little bit of revenge factor. And you get to actually play one of the dinosaurs that are chasing people around the board. You still follow a set of rules, so you just can't do whatever you want in the rolls you need to make, but you do get to move the dinosaur wherever you want. But this is my first video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, subscribe, and follow. I would appreciate that very much. For whatever reason you are watching this video, whether you know me and, you may already know like Dragon Lords of Orith, it would help me immensely to get the word of what I'm doing out there. This way, other people who may either be interested in the play of the games themselves, or even learning about game design, board game design, and also if you're looking to build a card game, since all my games do use cards to some degree, you'll also be learning some of the elements of the card designs. You know, where to start, where to go, you know, and all that information. So getting these videos out there is not for, you know, the next big YouTuber. Okay? If this channel makes any money at all from any kind of a source, that's fine and dandy. That money will be directly put back into the game designs because it's not cheap and my Social Security sucks. So any money that comes in goes into the game design. Not that it'll be very much, but every penny literally will help. So that's it for today. I thank you for watching.